Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Archaon the Ever-Chosen thematic Let's Play with Yin Yang Total War. Now, last time we played, we left off after Archaon had just captured Stormwrack Mount. Therefore, justifying Vandred the Majestic joining the cause. Now, Vandred was actually one of the first lieutenants that came to Archaon at the beckoning of his master Slaanesh. Now, Slaanesh is the god, the chaos god of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, basically. Greed, lust, gluttony, anything, everything that brings, everything that brings you pleasure, right? Slaanesh wants that in excess. Now, Vandred is actually not Archaon's most, how do we say, enthusiastic of lieutenants. As with Chaos, everyone wants to be the top dog. And Vandred the Majestic is no different, as you could probably tell by his name. He 100% will be trying to undermine Archaon throughout this Let's Play, as he did in the actual story. So, maybe he lasts, maybe we go ahead and kill him off at some point. We'll find out. But, let's go ahead and pick back up where we left off. Now, we have captured Stormwrack Mount, and I do have the option to build a building here, but I have a different design in mind for this city, encampment, whatever you want to call it. Now, last time we had discussed going either north or south. South doesn't really seem to be much of a threat at this moment. Whereas to the north, I am growing more and more concerned with the Kislevite invasion. We definitely don't want any forces of order up here. This is the true north. This is where chaos resides. We want to keep it that way. We will fight them on our terms when we're ready. So, with all of that said, let's go ahead and end this turn. Now, for those of you who tuned in with me last week, I do again appreciate you guys jumping on with my first, let's call it pilot episode. I do apologize that I have not been back to record in about what's going to be a week by the time that this gets out. Oh, hold on just a second.
But I will hear it from your lips all the same.
Okay, so Valnir the Reaper is a really cool character, and we are going to dive into him once he becomes more of a part of our story, hopefully in the future. At this point, though, we're not really looking to dominate him, even though I will want to have him under my direct control at some point. So I will be accepting his trade offer, kind of shore up our defense to the south. I don't want anyone coming up to invade me from that direction. So, like I was saying, I probably shouldn't have started a Let's Play series right before I had an extended military weekend, but that's over now, so we are back full force and ready to go. I will be trying to do 2 to 3 episodes of this a week, as well as sprinkling in some of the other stuff that I had discussed last time. Okay, and Refugees of War. Do we want Sartorial's Watchers? Yes, we do, because I would love to have Sartorial come over. Now, I might not use all these characters that I'm bringing into my Let's Play, into my army, but I do want the option to have
great, so too are the perils.
Okay, and it looks like we've had our first quest issued. This one is going to be for the Slayer of Kings. Now, there are, I want to say 6 items of chaos. That is not what they're called, but there are I believe 6 of them, and we want to get them all to become the true Ever-Chosen. Now, Is Archaon's name already Archaon the Everchosen? Yeah, I wish that it wasn't. I wish I could change it once he had actually accomplished all that, but it's not something that I can control in the game. So at this point, Archaon is really just Archaon. He is not the true Everchosen. He does not have all of the items that he is going to need to really dominate the forces of chaos and lead us into the final end times, right? So that is going to be his main goal. At a certain point, once I have made sure that we're in a good position to let the lieutenants take over for the running of the Empire, at that point Archaon will begin on his quest, but right now we're not going to be doing just that just yet. And speaking of lieutenants, let's see if this lieutenant can get anything. Looks like not.
There'll be a reckoning.
Well, before I forget, we did have a vendetta to finish against Helmrip.
Go now.
And there he is. He is back. Or she, whichever. Slaanesh goes both ways. It's pretty androgynous.
Savor.
And because Archaon does not trust Vandred, Vandred is going to be accompanying Archaon on this quest. So, like I said before, we are going to be focused on bringing Helmrip to heal.
Sirian's eye guides me.
And while we're at it, I'm going to make good on my design
Tribesmen, gather.
for Stormwreck Mount.
Straight to business. Where shall we raid next? The
So the
longships
Cool
are
are my
ready.
first. They're the first of my vessels, and I don't want them to stay weak. Some of my vessels I will want to stay weak, but not these guys. They're good old-fashioned, just chaos boys. So, I'm going to give him Stormwreck Mount to increase his power, and in return, he is going to pay me
In agreement.
so that I can further my own goals. Let's see, we got no one else we can recruit. And with that, we will begin again. So like I was saying before, I will be sprinkling in some of that other content that I had mentioned last week. I plan on doing some actual Total War news, because we did just get a Let's Play, not a Let's Play, but we did just get some campaign footage for Pharaoh Total War. So I'm looking forward to figuring out whether that one's going to be a good one or not. As a Total War fanatic, I'm probably going to get it anyway, so I wouldn't take.
The eye of Sirian
Oh, here we
has
go.
already told me your offer, but I will hear it from your lips all the same.
Now, for those of you who have not played, Vermintide 2, this is the tribe from Vermintide 2, the Nurgle worshipping Norskins, who are allied with the Skaven. Now, I might actually make my way around to playing them at some point in as a Let's Play, but I'm not 100% sure if that's really the direction I want to go. But they are very cool. And at this point, because they're down here and I'm up here, they're not really a threat to me. So we're going to, like Valnir, go ahead and accept their trade agreement, because I don't want any threats coming up from that direction. Like I said, everyone who follows Chaos is looking to be the dominant. So if we can hold people back from trying to dominate me, that's great. And it looks like we just finished a technology. So we're going to keep moving. Let's say this direction. because we want our construction time lower.
Excellent. Dominance.
Let's see if we have anybody we can recruit. Oh, that's cool. All right, so we can get some Chaos Trolls and we can get some Chaos Warhounds, which have been fantastic. So I will definitely take those on.
Satisfy every
And let's
human.
give Vandred another unit.
Take your place in the Legion.
Now, if you can see right here, we are starting to dip into the red. That means we're going to be losing money every turn. At this point, I'm not really concerned about it.
Unspeakable, no
Obviously,
talk.
it's something we'll have to keep an eye on.
Kill them all.
All right, and because, again, I don't trust Vandred, we're going to bring him up with us. And it looks like some of our hounds have betrayed us. Of course they have. Of course they have, because I was starting to get fond of them. All right, well, let's go ahead and dip into the battle. All right, and welcome to the battle. Now, some of you might have already noticed it doesn't look like I'm doing any setup, and that's because I'm not. When watching one of my favorite YouTubers, the awesome Surreal Beliefs, I picked up on something that he does, which helps make his videos a lot more cinematic, which is he will break his videos into two different recording sessions, one of which is replays of his own battles, and the other of which is the actual campaign itself. Now, I really like this cinematic perspective. If you would prefer to see me suck at these battles, please drop a comment and let me know. I can do half and half, or we can just stick with watching me not be very good at the game that I've poured thousands of hours into. But for now, for this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to go forward with the cinematic Let's Plays. That way you can see the units and see how cool they look and watch them slaughter each other and maybe not notice how bad I am at this game. So let's get started.
Such pitiful souls.
As you can see, when I'm fighting Slaanesh, I do like to take a more defensive posture. And that's, again, just because they like to come at you and they like to flank you. So I have left no lanes open. Now we do have Vandred getting ready to come in. He'll be here in about a minute and 20 seconds. But that's not going to be enough time to wait until they engage us. Now, again, they've taken some of my doggos, which doesn't please me. But we're going to go ahead and smack those dogs on the nose with some newspaper right about now. You had a chance to join in the glory, and this is what you get. Oh! Now our good boys are going to be over here getting ready to take advantage of their flank while they charge in straight at us. Oh, and there goes Helmrip with the entry. And Archaon has called down the Flaming Skull to go ahead and punish them. And it's time for our one-on-one with Helmrip. Gee, he's really pushing us. Not that it will matter at the end of the day. Let's go and see someone else's fight. Now these spears would normally do pretty well against dogs, but not against this many dogs. They're just tearing them to shreds. Let's see what Ogratch is up to. Yeah, and as I figured, he's just butchering these poor Hellstriders. But it looks like their reinforcements are coming in. And while our reinforcements have also arrived, they're not going to get up here in time to cut them off from flanking us. here comes Helmrip now, that slithery little bastard. And the duel with Helmrip continues. Ooh. Looks like the dogs have finished tearing up the devoted marauders, and will be moving on to their next target. And Archaon has decided to go ahead and drop a Fate of Yuna on Helmrip. Very nice. Now I know that I said Vandred is looking to undermine us, but at this point, he's still going to be loyal to us. That may or may not change. We'll just go ahead. We'll find out in the future, but for now, he's not going to sit and watch us die. And it looks like Helmrip has fallen. All that's left of him is his spear and shield. Archaon's done playing with people. And the rout has begun. Now, like I said before, I am trying to get as many kills for the Chaos Gods as possible. So I'm going to let these guys chase down the fleeing soldiers, and we'll go ahead and call it here. I'll see you back in the campaign. And we're back. So, from that battle, we didn't really have anybody stand out, which is honestly a pretty good thing to say, because that means that everybody did pretty well. That being said, there was a couple units who did more well than the others. Marauder Horsemen punched above their class, getting 96 kills. The Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, they come in clinch every time. 71 kills for them. And the Doggos, I just can't really say enough about them. They almost always overperform. Will they stay in Archaon's army? Probably not. Will they be relegated to a smaller, lesser army? Yeah, they're going to be, because I want to keep them around. And Vandred's forces didn't do too hot, although his Hellstriders did get a bunch of kills, probably on the back end, when everyone was fleeing. Okay, so last episode I did say that I had a special plan in mind for the Monolith of Babonicus, which is why I didn't conquer it outright, and that is because I want to subjugate them. So now, Helmrip, as you can see, well, it's not Helmrip right now, but Helmrip's faction will be working directly for me. These guys will be loyal to me, and I will be able to take from them. They will pay me tribute. As you can see right here, they're already paying. And I will have access to their armies.
I'll have this world.
Now that battle has won us extra skill points. So, because we defeated an army of Slaanesh, I'm going to say that Khorne has decided to bless us as an Infernal Champion, giving us 10% extra weapon strength for Archaon.
Sirion's eye guides me.
That will also increase our power as Prince Augrax.
Lord
And
of Slanesh.
Vandra's not going to get any blessings from Korn himself, but he does want his men to perform better going forward. So we're going to be utilizing the unit experience gain for him.
A mighty boon.
Now, something I would like to do with some of his marauders is specialize them a little bit more. Let's see, at what point can I or can I not? No, I cannot. I thought that I could. That's I wonder if it would have to be.
I am the chosen of the gods.
Yeah, it would. Okay.
Listen to
I
their
will do that going
screams.
Okay, so because I do want Vandred to have some of these acolytes as well in his army, I will be recruiting some normal, regular marauders to him as well. But that's that's something in the future. Sorry for making you guys walk through my mental gymnastics trying to figure that out.
Decadence calls.
For chaos!
All right, we are going to camp out here for the rest of the turn. Well, I guess we can start making our way this way.
I'll move.
Lord of excess. Seeking prey.
And let's see what else we can do. The Writhing Fortress is almost ready to go for its next round. But I want to start exploiting my vassals, which is going to give me more marauders over time. All right, and so looking out at the strategic battle map, we are going to be in charge of all of this. Even though it's different colors, these guys all belong to me, and so this is my realm at this point. Yeah, so the purple is me, the yellow are my vassals. And just as I was concerned about,
Yes,
Boris
indeed.
has decided to go ahead and move into the Monolith of Vesterlund. That means he is encroaching further into the north, and that is the absolute opposite of what I want. So what we're going to do, instead of directly confronting him, we're going to be a little Zinchian, and we're going to go for his Tower of Torment and cut him off from behind, cutting him off from the sea as well. And we'll go ahead and end the next turn. Now, just a heads up, because I see we're already pushing into our time, I do not plan on every episode of this Let's Play to be an hour long. Might be 30-35 minutes long for a lot of these episodes. I might do something like what Lionheart does, and kind of do like every 5 or 10 turns we'll do an hour, or 5 or 10 episodes, excuse me, we'll do an hour long Let's Play. But I don't want to force everyone to watch a movie every time that they turn on YouTube to come and watch. All right, and it looks like Bilbali has already fallen. For those of you who don't know where Bilbali is, that's going to be down in Estalia. I don't want their refugees, and I definitely don't want any orcs. The Sons of the Mountain seem like they're pretty loyal to their own gods, so we're going to leave that. Don't want them, but I will take the Pallid Nursling. Those are Nurglites. And in case I didn't show you guys last time, what's happening when I'm including all of those extra, when I'm bringing in those extra people, right? These are my normal lords, but I can also recruit a Tyrant. I can get a Dreadlord, a Skaven Warlord, and some exalted Lords of Change as well. And there's Sartorial, for those of you who played the first game.
The gods direct me!
Let's pull back just a little bit, actually.
Bring corruption!
Make sure that we're tapping
My
off our...
obsession is pain.
Doesn't look like there's anybody I can
Savor
recruit,
the agony.
which is a little disappointing. But let's go ahead and move on to the next turn. Oh, gosh, I almost forgot about this. And I promise everybody this isn't going to turn into Intern Simulator. Sometimes it just takes a little while to get to the next target. And hopefully these interns start getting a little bit shorter. The smaller that number on the right gets, the less turns that everyone else is going to have to take because factions are dying off, which is a good thing for us. Okay, looks like Clan Crooktail wants to join me. I'm going to say yes. Some more Dark Elves, absolutely. And let's go back to that actually. Quest issued for the Changer. It looks like another one of our lieutenants of Archaon has shown us the path to bring them under our wing. So I will definitely be making my way towards the Forbidden Citadel at some point, but that is all the way out here in Norska, so it's going to be just a little while.
Dominance!
Alright, and it looks like we are ready.
For the Dark Prince.
You push further
March
in.
with the Prince of Chaos.
There'll be a reckoning!
And what would be ideal is if he decided to react, but I kind of doubt that he will.
Prince of Pain. Take your place in the Legion of Pain.
Alright, and like I said, I would like to turn you into an acolyte.
No act too unspeakable, no torment too delicious.
Spirit of Morka!
Okay, and it does look like he left a little horse in the Tower of Torment, so it's going to be a little more challenging for us to take, but I don't think it'll be that much of a difference. One more intern, and then we will probably fight our final battle for this episode. Again, I just want to thank everybody for coming to view my channel, and I'm very excited to continue going forward. Some of this music is different than what I've noticed before. I'm sure it's always been here, but I have not paid attention to it.
What could you possibly offer me, mewling swarm? I am ever chosen.
And it looks like the Skaven of Clan Ferric want a trade agreement. Now, I cannot see Clan Ferric on my map, however, because I have a problem and I've played this campaign several times already, I know exactly where they're at. They're going to be right down here. They are bordering up against my territory. I do not want to give them extra time to really grow stronger. So once I am done with Boris, I will probably turn and make my way south to deal with them. So the answer is going to be no, I don't want a trade agreement with you. Because I want to dominate you. Alright, we don't want anybody from Aquitaine. They can stay in Bretonnia where they belong. Again, no greenskins. We will take those. Archaon and no Kislevites. We're about to kill the Kislevites. War has been declared. It doesn't look like Boris has decided to move from his newly acquired fortress. So I will deal with this. And again, we could win this battle on our own, but there's no reason not to have Vandred join us.
Moving out. Slanesh wills it not.
And while we're at it, which one? Actually, I'm going to decide to save my money on that one. Now, before I fight this battle and forget, I am going to go ahead and try to assign my followers to go deal with old Boris. Now, whether they actually accomplish anything or not is a totally different matter, but we are going to go ahead and get the ball rolling on that since we have a full army here and a somewhat
tribesmen gather.
Big stack here. That's not gonna help. What about you? Yeah, Akarak could definitely make his way towards Boris, and hopefully that'll stop him before he wipes out the Cornates north, because I want to deal with them as well. All right. Let's get this started, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, and welcome back to our first battle with the Kislevites, and our final battle for this episode. Now, as you can see, I'm taking a slightly different posture with my units against the Kislevites because a different enemy requires different tactics. Now, as you'll see, a lot of these guys have some sort of range, which means that we're going to want to charge them, but we're not going to do so in a stupid fashion. We're not Helmrip. We are instead going to be waiting until we're within their range, and at that point we will charge. I don't want to waste my troops' stamina waiting, charging headlong into a battle when we could do things a little smarter. Now, we are still waiting on Vandred. He is going to be coming in at about 60 seconds from now, and it looks like their cavalry have moved up north. I don't know if that's to cut him off or to try and flank us, but we'll see. We'll soon find out. And here they come, and so do we. Now, they are going to get a couple pot shots off on us. It's just inevitable, unfortunately.
They are charging, comrades!
But also, fortunately, it looks like they've decided now's a good time to reform their lines. And here we go. Now, sometimes one of the things I do like about doing these more cinematic replays is that I actually get to zoom in on my guys and watch them do battle. You know, I put so much effort into finding great reskins for all my guys, and I never have time to actually look at them. So this is fun. There we go with another flaming skull right into their units and into a little bit of mine, unfortunately. Looks like our dogs have already chased off some of their cavalry, but these sleds are going to be a different matter entirely. And here comes Vandred. He's a slithery little sneaky snake. And we're going to be coming to begin our sweep right down into their army. It looks like our trolls are already running for the hills, unfortunately. I love trolls, but they have no morale whatsoever. And here come our knights. Oh, what a nasty charge. I'd hate to be on the receiving end of that. Imagine coming up here thinking that you're going to make a difference, only to realize that you're in hell. And it looks like my Marauders are still fighting the same Kossars they were when we first started. But as you can see, this battle is already turning very quickly against them. They won't be on the battlefield for very much longer at all. Here we come to relieve the Marauders of Thorn. They won't be able to hold on much longer. And it looks like, once again, that is going to be it. So, we'll be chasing down their units. But I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch that. So I will see you on the other side. Alright, here we go. It looks like we were able to earn 2153 extra favor and some more experience as well as souls. We're trying to get our soul count up so that we can really give Algrax the recognition he deserves, especially under the eyes of his patron god, which would be Quinn. So, let's continue. Now, I have a choice here to liberate a vassal, which would gain me extra souls, or gift it, which would gain me extra money. I'm going to take the extra money because it's also going to give me unit replenishment. And here we go.
You steal from the
And I now have a
orthodoxy.
third vassal under my rank. Oh. Now, I don't actually have all these regiments of renown. It's just kind of a bug from one of the mods, unfortunately. But I have gained access to Dorgar, which is going to be amazing. However, we will have to see him in action next time. We're going to be going for the Red Czar himself. So we have that to look forward to. But until then, I just want to say thanks again for everybody who has taken time to sit down and watch another episode of this. I'm looking very much forward to continuing. Please, any suggestions you have, leave them in the comments section. And if you like what you see, I hate to say it, but leave a like. It sounds corny, but most people who don't leave one, it's not because they don't like it, it's because they forget. So, there, I've said it. Until then, thanks again, everyone. And for all my friends, wherever you are, good morning, good evening, and good night. I'll see you next time.